That night, I did not go inside, did not flip a light, did not even touch the front door. Instead, I crouched behind a bush in the backyard, waiting. 1 in the morning. Then headlights flashed. A convoy of black vans crept down the street, engines growling low and menacing. The lead van stopped, door swinging open. 6 guys in tactical gear spilled out, moving fast and sharp. Not cops, not amateurs, but Hargrove's crew. I watched them breach the house. Shouts, footsteps, flashlights sweeping empty rooms. Then a voice from inside. He is not here. A pause, then colder. Plant it. My gut twisted. I did not need to see to know they were setting me up. I moved before the vans peeled out, slipping through backyards, scaling fences, vanishing like a ghost in the night. By the highway, police sirens wailed loud. My burner phone buzzed. Reginald calling. I ignored it. 2 minutes later, a news alert popped up. Breaking. Former U.S. Marshal Rupert Fletcher wanted for federal crimes. My face, paired with charges. Fraud, obstruction, corruption, extortion. They buried me in mud before I could stand. I am Rupert Fletcher, 38 years old, a former U.S. Marshal from the chilly outskirts of Portland, Oregon. My old job taught me to sniff out trouble miles away, stay cool when it all falls apart, and never turn from what needs facing. Now I live alone in a small house in a quiet neighborhood, the only place I found peace after years chasing justice. But peace, I have learned, always comes at a cost. I have faced plenty of threats in my life, but this was different. An envelope sat silent on my doorstep, pinned by a smooth stone, like it was meant for someone who gets the weight of silence. No stamp, no sender, just a crisp white sheet with neat, emotionless print. Cecilia was disposable. Hargrove is not. Back off while you can. Drop a 9 in the comments if you are ready for my story. Like the video and subscribe to catch every breathless twist ahead. Wishing you a peaceful day. I clenched my jaw, reading it once, then twice, then a third time. This was not a warning. It was a blatant dare. The air felt heavy, still, suffocating. Blitz, my German shepherd, stood beside me, ears up, tail stiff. Even he sensed something off. I glanced at the street. The neighborhood looked normal. Too perfect, too quiet, like a trap primed to spring. I brought the note inside, laid it on the dining table, smoothing it with fingers trembling from adrenaline. Cecilia was a pawn, already out of play. The real player? Rupert Hargrove, a name that echoes in real estate, a guy who lives by his own rules. Offshore accounts and buried legal loopholes. Cecilia might have slipped up, but Hargrove never does. I took a deep breath, grabbed my jacket, tucked my pistol into its holster. If Hargrove thought a vague note could scare me off, he was dead wrong. I do not back down. I confront. The first 15 minutes passed with nothing big. I drove through town, eyes locked on every sign. A dark-windowed SUV parked roadside, a guy at the gas station lingering too long on his phone. Instinct hit before certainty. Someone was tailing me. I turned left, then right, looped back once more. The tail stuck, sloppy, too obvious. I swung into a narrow street, killed the lights, then veered sharp into an empty lot. Whoever was following would have to pass here. Time stretched endless. Then headlights flared. A gray SUV rolled by, slow, cautious. I stepped out, hand resting on my holster. The SUV stopped, silent. No movement. I edged closer, still no response. At the driver's door, I tapped the glass. Nothing. I yanked it open. Empty. No driver, no one, just the engine humming in the void. Every nerve in me tightened. This was not just a tale. It was a loud message. They wanted me to know I was watched, a warning shot. But they did not get who I am. I shut the door, snapped a quick pic of the plate with my phone. Then I headed back to my car, a smirk tugging my lips. They think they are the hunters? Fatal mistake. Because Rupert Fletcher is not prey. I am the fire they never saw coming. I do not like crowds. Too many eyes, too many surprises. But Reginald insisted. So here we are, tucked in a dim corner of Pete's stop. The coffee tastes bitter as defeat, and the waitress scowls like the world owes her. Reginald Crane looks off, tension plain. She scans the room, stirring her coffee without sipping. Someone is pulling strings, Rupert, she whispers, voice tight. And it is not just Hargrove. I take a sip, watching her. Really? She nodded. I have checked his recent deals. A string of competitors. Gone. Overnight. No trace, no lawsuits. Just vanished into thin air. I set my cup down, a heavy feeling rising in my chest. You think I am next? Reginald exhaled, her breath shaky. I think you have been on the list for a while. Silence settled over us. Outside, a black van rolled slowly past the diner. Not normal traffic. Too new, too deliberate. Reginald noticed too. They are watching you. I gave a faint laugh, but anger flared inside. Let them try. I slipped out the back door, Reginald taking a different route. Safer that way. The streets were quiet. Too quiet. Then tires screeched. A van swerved onto the curb, door flying open mid-roll. 4 guys in tactical gear jumped out, moving fast and sure. No hesitation, no rookies. They knew their job. I barely ducked as the first one charged. I sidestepped, slamming a hard fist into his ribs, feeling bone crack under my knuckles. The second lunged. I dodged, grabbed his wrist, and shoved him headfirst into a lamppost. The third, smarter, hung back, hand drifting to his belt. I was quicker, yanked his collar, spun him, pinned him to the van. Who sent you? He chuckled, wheezing. You already know. I tightened my grip, voice sharp with fury. Say it. He smirked. Hargrove. Then he jerked his head back, clipping my chin, breaking free, and bolting into the dark. I wiped blood from my lip, watching him fade. Hargrove just made this personal. Back home, every sense screamed. I pulled into the driveway, cut the engine, and waited. 3 minutes, 7 minutes. Then I saw it. A car parked 5 houses down, lights off, still, watching. Blitz growled, ears perked high. I sighed, hands white-knuckling the wheel. Do they really not get it? This was not a threat anymore. It was war. I have seen plenty of cons in my life, but this? It topped them all. I sat there, staring at the list before me. Names, addresses, seized assets. Families erased. No forwarding addresses, no legal fights, just nothing. Reginald Crane leaned on the table's edge, arms crossed, eyes burning with outrage. Hargrove has done this for years. He bleeds them dry with fake violations, drowns them in legal fees, then takes everything when they can't fight back. I exhaled hard through my nose, helplessness creeping in. And no one stops him? Reginald's lip curled, voice dripping sarcasm. Ever tried suing a billionaire? I flipped through the files. Some took hush money, some got threats. Those who would not bend, they vanished like they never existed. Reginald tapped the last page lightly. Hargrove's hosting a private gala Saturday night. Big investors, top officials. The kind who can erase problems with a snap. I smirked, holding back disgust. And you just happened to have an invite? She shook her head, eyes glinting with confidence. Better. I know someone who worked for him. She slid a burner phone across the table. He is waiting for your call. I grabbed it, dialed. 5 rings, then a hoarse, nervous voice answered. You should not be contacting me. I leaned back. You worked for Hargrove. A long pause, then, yeah, but not anymore. I tapped the files, voice firm. I need proof. Something to bring him down. A sigh crackled through, then a whisper. Meet me in 45 minutes. The line cut. Reginald raised an eyebrow, curiosity in her tone. Cooperative, huh? I stood, pulling on my jacket, resolve surging. They always are, until they panic. The bar reeked of stale beer and despair. I found him in a shadowy back corner. Mid-50s, hands trembling, face carved with things he wished he had not seen. Name? I asked, sitting across from him. Call me Tucker Nolan, he said, eyes darting around like he expected an ambush. You want to take down Hargrove? I nodded. Tucker reached into his coat. I tensed, hand brushing my gun, but he pulled out a small USB drive. Everything is here. Fake HOA violations, wrongful evictions, dirty money deals. Hargrove does not just steal homes. He uses them to launder cash. I took the USB, feeling its weight in my palm. You sure? Tucker gave a dry, bitter laugh. I have waited years for someone to even ask that. I pocketed the drive. Now I just needed to step into that den and make Hargrove pay for starting this game. Disguises were not new to me. Fake names, borrowed suits, walking into enemy turf. It was instinct. But tonight felt different. Because this time I was the hunted first. I adjusted my cuffs, stepping through the marble entrance of Eclipse Tower. The place reeked of old money mixed with fresh rot. A doorman bowed, crystal chandeliers gleamed overhead, a string quartet played posh notes. I kept it casual, natural, just a wealthy investor sniffing out deals. The fake ID in my pocket read, Nathaniel Brooks, private investment specialist. Good enough to fool the guards. The penthouse buzzed with people. Not elites, but predators. Men in pricey suits, women with icy smiles, real estate moguls, politicians, top cops. The kind who make rules just to break them. I grabbed a wine glass from a waiter's tray, ears tuned to every sound. Across the room, Rupert Hargrove stood by the bar, laughing loud with a robed figure. Judge Marcus Fairfax, signer of countless shady evictions. I exhaled slow, a weight pressing my chest. This was not just a scam, it was a full racket. Officials greenlit zoning laws, cops buried complaints, judges signed eviction orders, then Hargrove and his investor pals scooped up properties dirt cheap. Bigger than I thought, way bigger. Then a line stopped me cold. Hargrove raised his glass, commanding the room. Here is to another winning year, he boomed, his billionaire grin wide. More properties, more gains. And most importantly, he smirked, more obstacles cleared out. Scattered laughs erupted, glasses clinked. A guy in a blue suit leaned in. What about the Federal Oversight Board? If they keep poking around. Hargrove waved it off, smug. Taken care of. Our guy in D.C. handled it. I gripped my glass tighter, anger swelling in my chest. They were not just targeting citizens. They were after federal agents too. A woman with pearl strands chimed in. What about that marshal? My heart skipped. Hargrove chuckled. Fletcher? He will not be a problem much longer. The crowd laughed again. My mind raced. If Hargrove knew my name, I was not just watched. I was hunted. Time to get out. But as I turned, a heavy hand clamped my shoulder. A big guy stood behind me, eyes hard. Security, or worse. Never seen you before, he said, voice flat. I forced a thin smile, staying cool despite the fire inside. Funny, I was about to say the same to you. He did not budge. Come with me. I glanced at the exit. Too far, guards at the door, no easy way out. I took a deep breath, nodded. Fine, lead the way. The guy led me down a back hallway toward a private room. I had seconds to act. Passing a waiter, I swiped a fruit knife off his tray. One swift move. I spun, slammed the handle into his neck, and he crashed into a side table. Shouts erupted behind me. I did not hesitate. I bolted through the kitchen, past stunned staff, and out to the service balcony. Eclipse Tower sat on floor 35. No easy way down. Then I saw it, a window washing rig swaying in the night breeze. I took a breath, muttering, worst party exit ever. Then I jumped. I did not head home. Instinct screamed not to. Instead, I drove 5 blocks past my place, parked in a dark alley, and watched. The gray SUV was still there, same as last night. They were not even hiding anymore. I breathed slow, urgency rising. They were moving, and I needed answers now. Reginald Crane never spooked easy, but when I stepped into the safe house, she flinched like I was a stranger. She forced a weak smile. You are hurt. I glanced at the gash on my arm from the balcony jump. No big deal, I said, brushing it off. Hargrove knew I was at the party, my voice steady despite the fire inside. Someone ratted me out. Reginald looked away, dodging my gaze. That does not mean... I stepped closer, voice dropping. Tell me the truth. She swallowed hard, breath catching. It does not mean I did. That hesitation, that brief pause. She was hiding something. I inhaled deep, fighting disappointment. Who did you tell? Her hands clenched, voice trembling. I had to report to someone, Rupert. You are not invincible. My face tightened with anger, but I pressed. Who? Her lips parted, then shut. I did not need more. That night, I did not go inside, did not turn on a light, did not touch the front door. Instead, I hid behind a bush in the backyard, waiting. 1 a.m. Then headlights flashed. A line of black vans rolled up the street, engines purring with menace. The lead van stopped, door popping open. 6 guys in tactical gear spilled out, moving fast and sharp. Not cops, not amateurs. Hargrove's men. I watched them storm the house. Yells, footsteps, flashlights cutting through empty rooms, then a voice from inside. He is not here. A beat, then colder. Plant it. My stomach churned. I did not need to see to know they were framing me. I slipped away before the vans left, weaving through yards, hopping fences, vanishing like a ghost in the dark. By the highway, sirens blared. My burner phone buzzed. Reginald calling. I let it ring. 2 minutes later, a news alert hit the screen. Breaking, former U.S. Marshal Rupert Fletcher wanted for federal crimes. My face tagged with charges. Fraud, obstruction, corruption, extortion. They buried me before I could fight back. I exhaled slow, then smirked. They think this is checkmate? They forgot who I am. I needed a ghost, someone off the books who could gut Hargrove's empire without a trace. I found him in a rundown motel off Boulevard 8, a hacker calling himself Dax Dark. Skinny, hooded, eyes darting, a paranoid genius with a keyboard. You have 7 minutes, he muttered, fingers flying across 4 laptops. Then I'm gone. I tossed the burner phone on the table. Hargrove's money. I need to know where it flows. Dax snorted. Good luck. Guy has more shell companies than a tax haven. I leaned in, voice firm. Crack this and he is done. Dax sighed, fingers blurring over keys. 5 minutes later, he froze. Holy, what? He spun the laptop around. I squinted at the screen. Offshore accounts, tens of millions cycling through. One transaction stood out. Not to politicians, not cops, but Judge Marcus Fairfax. I took a deep breath. This is the crack. Dax nodded, voice hesitant. Expose this, Hargrove falls, but it won't stick hard unless you make him confess. Publicly. I smirked, challenge surging. Then we will make him talk. Rupert Hargrove thrived in shadows he controlled, secret deals, hidden contracts, dark corners, so I decided to shove him where he can't rig the game. A live TV event. He was set to speak at a lavish investment summit. Cameras, reporters, packed crowd. I did not need an invite or care. That night, I blended into the throng, moving like a shadow. Security was tight, unnaturally so. Hargrove felt the heat. He knew something was coming, but he did not count on me. I tapped my earpiece. Dax Dark was patched in from the motel. Sound check? Feed is live, Dax replied. I took a deep breath, stepped into the light, and walked straight for Hargrove. Face to face, the final move. I did not knock, did not flash a pass, did not slow down. I strode into the Topaz Rise Plaza ballroom like I owned it. Gleaming chandeliers, tuxes, and gowns, air thick with money and rot. At the center, Rupert Hargrove laughed, raised a glass, surrounded by his lackeys. Clueless that his walls were about to cave, Hargrove spotted me too late. His smile vanished, shoulders stiffening. I walked up, calm, confident, like it was just a casual chat. He spoke, voice low but tight. You are not allowed here. I smirked, satisfaction rising. Neither are your secret accounts. A flicker of panic crossed his face. Perfect. He glanced at security. 3 guys started closing in. I leaned closer, voice dropping. Run, and it gets worse. Hargrove snorted, clinging to bravado. You have got nothing. I raised an eyebrow, tapping my watch. He froze. It was not a watch. It was a live mic, broadcasting his every word across the room. Reporters' phones buzzed, his voice echoing. DC is handled. Relax. Fletcher? He is done soon. Whispers spread fast. Eyes locked on him. Cameras swung over. Hargrove's facade cracked. He was cornered. His voice turned hoarse, menacing. You think this ends it? I gave a faint laugh, victory surging. No, I am just getting started. Then a shout from the entrance. Everyone freeze. Reginald Crane strode in, badge high. Behind her, federal agents flooded the room. The crowd gasped. Hargrove's guards hesitated. Hargrove? He bolted. I was faster. I tore through the ballroom, vaulting chairs, chasing him down a service hall. He shoved a side door open. Stairs. I followed, taking 3 steps at a time. The rooftop door burst wide. Hargrove stumbled out, wind howling, nowhere left to hide. He spun, desperate. Rupert, we can deal. I punched him square in the face. He reeled, tripped, hit the ground. I towered over him, breathing steady. No deals. Blood trickled from his lip, hands shaking. He knew it was over. Sirens wailed below, choppers circled above. Reginald and the agents stormed the roof. Cuffs snapped onto Hargrove's wrists. Reginald smirked. Nice work. I exhaled, relief washing over me. Finally, it was done. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. Hargrove was just a pawn. You do not know what is coming. My face tightened, alertness snapping back. Damn it. The real game was just starting. Hargrove was finished. As the sun rose, his empire crumbled. Accounts frozen, assets seized, allies scrambling for cover. The fake HOA racket got busted wide open. Every fine, every stolen home, exposed. People he crushed for greed, they got justice. I sat on my truck's hood, arms crossed, watching feds raid the Oak Ridge HOA office. Boxes of fake violations, sham orders, bank statements, all Hargrove hid, now evidence. Reginald walked up, coffee in hand. You are officially cleared, she said, handing me a file. I flipped it open. Charges dropped, my name clean again. She grinned wide. You are free. I sipped her coffee, satisfaction creeping in. Took long enough. She rolled her eyes. Try saying thanks. I smirked. You first. She punched my arm, hard enough I nearly dropped the cup. That night, I went home. First time in 4 weeks. The house still stood, somehow. Blitz sprawled at my feet, gnawing an old ball. Things felt normal, until I opened the door. An envelope sat under a stone. No stamp, no sender. My chest tightened. I picked it up, tore it open, read the lone line. Hargrove was just another piece. You do not know what lies ahead. My face hardened. I stared at the note, flipping it over, holding it to the light. Whoever sent this, they were not done. A new enemy was watching, bigger, smarter, deadlier. And me, Rupert Fletcher? I was ready, because this game, it was only beginning. Reflecting on Rupert Fletcher's journey here, I can't help but think of society's shadows today, where power and cash twist justice, leaving regular folks helpless against corrupt systems. This story paints a stark truth. Illegal property grabs, manipulation by the powerful, these are not just fiction. They lurk around us. What I admire is how Rupert refused to buckle. He faced it head-on, dug for truth, and lit up the wrongs. The takeaway? Persistence and faith in what is right can spark change, even against unbeatable odds. In life, we can live this by not staying quiet about injustice, lifting each other up, trusting every small step builds a fairer world. This tale is for entertainment and reflection only. No judgment, no criticism, no harm meant to anyone or anything. If Rupert's path moved you or sparked thoughts, leave a comment below with your take. Like, share this video with friends, and subscribe for more meaningful stories. Thanks for watching it through. Wishing you a peaceful day. See you in the next one.